Hi everyone. I decided to do a Q&A video since I'm home for the summer and my stepmom and my sister aren't here, so I can kind of use the living room instead of my messy room. So I just kind of reached out and asked people to give me questions. So I'm gonna go in the order that I received them. So Gina's 6 are gonna be first, and then Deidre sent me one, and then Jana sent me one. So, or she actually sent me 7. So I think Jocelyn sent me one in there that she put in there as a joke, but I'm gonna answer it anyway because I have a funny answer. Okay, don't mind my hair; it looks like crap. Okay. Let me find Gina's questions. Here we go. What was your first fandom? Well, any of you who've met me in person or have just been recently following me on Twitter knows that my first fandom was Golden Girls. Yes, they had a fandom. Yes, it was me. Yes, Golden Girls was my first fandom. I shipped like crazy. I sobbed when I watched the finale. I think as all of us did. Um, wrote fan fiction. One fan fiction I wrote for the Golden Girls. I never published it because I was like 11 years old when I wrote it. Oh my god. That was before I even knew what fan fiction was. 2. What does Call Me Crazy 2364 mean? Okay. That's actually. I wrote Mariska a letter and I gave it to Peter when I met him. That's the email that I left at the bottom. Um, but Call Me Crazy is actually a Lifetime movie. Like, it's a legit Lifetime movie. You can go and you can find it. And it's about mental illness. And it follows like 5 different people who are all dealing with mental illness. Either they have a mental illness or someone they love has a mental illness. It's a really powerful movie and I love it so much that I decided to make an email out of it. But I didn't want to just have it be Call Me Crazy because that's just a little weird. So I was like, we'll throw numbers in there. And of course, the numbers that I picked just happened to be Marichka's birthday. And I gave this as my email to her. It was bad. I still don't. Part of me hopes she didn't recognize that. But then in the last letter, well, not the last letter, the second to last letter that I gave her, I apologized. And I was like, I promise I'm not actually that crazy. I mean, whatever. It happens. Turtles or Batman? Turtlegasm. Hello. Gotta love it. But no, that came because I sent out a tweet to the SVU writers room yesterday that was holy banana balls, Batman. I'm sorry, I don't know why I can't stop laughing. Okay. Wow. Um, so those were the first 3 of Gina's. Now is Jocelyn's. If train A is traveling at 95 miles an hour from Ohio to Texas, and train B is traveling 75 miles an hour from Tennessee to Texas, what is the ratios of spiders under your bed? And then she put the laughing emojis with the tears and JK. So, the ratio of spiders under my bed is, I'm going to need to call a therapist right now. Paging Dr. Lindstrom, paging Dr. Freud, paging Karen, paging Carlos. I hate spiders. I have like serious arachnophobia. It's bad. I just, oh, I can't do spiders. No, I can't do them. Okay. Um. Back to Gina's questions. Do you always nearly knock people over when you scream? You're the first one that I've actually almost knocked over, to my knowledge. Um, that was funny. Donald Logue came walking towards us when we were on set, and we weren't expecting him to be there. And Deidre hit my arm a few times, and I'm like, what? And I turned around and I saw him walking towards me and just went, ah! And I just stood there for 30 seconds because I was so completely starstruck by the fact that this man was walking towards me. And all I could say to him the entire time as we were taking pictures and he was signing autographs and stuff was, I'm so sorry I screamed. Yeah. First ever fanfic that I ever wrote was the Golden Girls fanfic that I mentioned before. It was called The Golden Girls as Kids. I never published it. My first published fanfic was actually a Supernatural fanfic. And I don't remember what it was called. I don't remember the storyline at all. My first SVU fanfic, though I don't remember the title of it, was actually an EO fic. It was an EO smut fic. When they took a police cruiser out to the woods and had sex in the back of the car. I was 14 when I wrote that. Why do you think people are so stupid? These are the questions I keep asking myself. That's the only answer that I have. And yes, I realize that's a Chelsea Lately, Mariska Hargitay thing. I don't care. It's the only answer that even works. Sorry about the light. If I don't have that, I look like a ghost. At least now I look like an angel, kinda. Not really. No. Okay. I don't think I have any more questions on Twitter. So now I will go to Instagram. Okay. And this is Deidre's comment. Or question. Being a barista or knowing how to barista, do you have a favorite drink or do you just know how to barista and you don't care? I do have a favorite like coffee drink. Even though I didn't work at Starbucks, I do know how to barista. I know how to make frappes, which is what a Starbucks calls a frappuccino. I happen to like green tea frappuccinos, green tea frappes, but I also came up with a concoction that I had my coworker make me after I got off work one day, and it was vanilla base, white chocolate syrup, caramel syrup, with a caramel drizzle and sprinkles. It was really freaking good. Oh my goodness, it was amazing. Tasted like cake batter. I loved it so much. But I mean, I really like making lattes. I like making caramel macchiatos. I've been told that I've made the best caramel macchiato that someone's ever tasted, which I will take the compliment. Yeah, that's all I got on Instagram. Now go to Chaina's questions. Going to make you go out of your comfort zone here. What's your favorite EO moment? I have a few. Not all of them are happy. My favorite happy EO moment is... Oh, damn it. Probably the wildlife scene where she comes out of the bathroom in her bra and her jeans. Are you ready for me, Daddy? That's probably my favorite, like, happy, sexy EO scene. But I really like the fault argument scene. I like the last scene of Wrath, where she's like, you stay away from me, after she shot the guy and then he's knocking on her door and she's just sitting there crying with the single tear. Um, I also like in season one in Sophomore Jinx, um, when they're talking about the theory of the crime and they see the wall and he's like, oh, maybe this is, and she's like, oh, so he picked up the building and hit her over the head with it. And she's like, oh no, wait, no. I don't even remember the exact line. Damn it. But something like, that he picked the building up and hit her over the head with it. And she's like, gotcha. I have a lot of favorite EO moments. Not all of them are happy. They're just really well written and really well acted. Favorite Ben City moment. That's a hard one. Again, not all of them are happy. I really like for a fledgling charity, they're not something like that, and she's like, fledgling, I'm impressed. And he goes, yeah, you know what I did last night? I looked it up, memorized it, just so I could impress you. I love it. I love when they're talking about necrophilia. And Olivia looks at him and goes, you see what you started? Current, like, nowadays Bensity. I love the hospital kiss. I love the kiss on the couch. I love, even though it's like the saddest scene ever, I love the Bensity I love you, because it's like she's never said that before to anybody. And here she is saying it to Brian. It's just like the fact that they break up after that. It's just like I'm gonna punch someone. I don't know who, but someone's getting punched for that because that's just cruel. We should have been more specific when we kept begging the writers for an I love you, apparently. I like when they move in too, like when they're talking and she's like, Brian, for once in your life, take care of yourself. And me. I love it. Chicken or steak? It depends on the day. It really does. Some days I'm in the mood for red meat, so some days I'll say steak, and some days I actually crave steak. Most days, though, I'm like, oh, I could go for some chicken. I like chicken. So I guess because most days I'm kind of in favor of chicken, I'll go with chicken. What temperature do you keep your house/room? In the summer we keep our house at like 68 because no one in this house likes to be hot. Thanks, Mom. We keep the house at 68, and I have a fan going in my room, so I don't even know what the temperature is in my room. But my dorm room that I just moved out of yesterday was set at 62 because anything else was too hot. You're Italian. What's your favorite dish to make? I really like making lasagna. I make it from scratch. Well, I don't make the noodles from scratch, but I layer the lasagna. I make my own sauce. I have a secret layer in there that I won't share, because I don't want anyone stealing it. But yeah, I really want to go on like Food Network's America's Best Cook next season. Like, I'm not even joking about that. And I'd love to be on Team Guarnaschelli because Alex Guarnaschelli is the shit. I love her. But I also like just making a nice big pot of sauce with meatballs. I bake the meatballs off and then I put them in the sauce to finish cooking, so it becomes a gravy. Oh my gosh, I love it. I love it. What state would you like to move to? I'd really, really like to move to New York. I'm not gonna lie. Like, even if it was like Long Island, specifically, actually, I'd love to move to Long Island. It's gorgeous out there. I've been there once. I actually got stuck on Long Island for the night. That's a funny story. Went to Natasha's Justice Project fundraiser. I decided last minute that I was going. Took me about 2 hours to get there. Got there fine. No problem with the car at all. Had a good time. Stayed for a couple hours. Natasha and everyone were getting ready to leave. So I walk out with Natasha and her boyfriend, Scott. And we were actually parked right next to each other. It was really funny. And I go to turn my car on, and it doesn't turn over. And I'm like, no, don't even tell me. So I get out of my car, and I tried to wave them down, but they didn't see me. And I'm like, shit, what am I going to do? So I went back in. We were at the Knights of Columbus out in Mastic. And, well, Mastic Beach, technically. So I go back in and I'm like, guys, my car won't start. And they're like, oh, is it the battery? And I'm like, I don't think so. Help. So meanwhile, I'm on the phone with my mom, I'm on the phone with my dad, I'm on the phone with my grandmother. I'm calling everybody I know. I'm freaking out. My dad's yelling at me. He's like, I can't help you. I don't know what you want me to do. I'm like, just never mind. I'll figure it out. So I wind up calling AAA. Actually, I'm on the phone with my mom. She's yelling at me, which is making me cry more. My grandmother's like, I just took my sleeping pills. I can't come and get you because I'll fall asleep on the drive there. I'm like, oh, I'll figure something out. So I finally get through to Natasha. I can't talk today. I apologize. Finally get through to Natasha. And I'm like, she realizes that I'm crying at this point. She's like, what's wrong? I was like, I'm still at the Knights of Columbus and my car won't start. I don't know what to do. And she's like, okay, I'm almost home. I'll be back in 20 minutes. So meanwhile, I call AAA. I'm trying to get a truck. We managed to figure out that the tow truck place that my mom's friend works at is within the 100 miles of my wiggle room there. With AAA, I have like the 100 mile where you can get towed up to 100 miles for free, except you have to pay like tolls, which isn't bad at all. So the whole time I'm on the phone with AAA trying to get a truck, and they're like, we don't have any trucks that are gonna take you back to New Jersey today. I'm like, really? Why do I pay you people? Come on, really? So Natasha finally comes walking back in, and I like ran over to her, and she threw her arms around me, and I just sobbed. And my mom called me back, and I was telling her what was going on, and she starts yelling at me again, because she's worried. It wasn't like she was yelling because it was my fault. She was just really worried because I'm in Long Island and she's down here in Ocean County. So, Natasha's like, give me your phone. So Natasha took my phone. She's like, Kate, it's Natasha. We got her. She's fine. We'll take care of her. Don't worry. So I wound up staying with one of the women who were at the Knights of Columbus for the night. Got a tow truck back in the morning. Yeah. Car was dead with my engine. My engine was shot. Whatever. So that was my interesting story. Now this is going on almost 20 minutes. What's the best thing about living in New Jersey? Because I live in like central/southern New Jersey, depending on who you talk to. Technically, I'm central. It's kind of South Jersey. I have tons of beaches all over the place. I go down the street and there's a beach right there. It's a lake. It's not the ocean, but I actually have 2 beaches within walking distance of my house, which is really cool. And then there's, Seaside's not too far. Long Beach Island is like 45 minutes away. Atlantic City's not too far. And then there's Ocean City, which isn't too far away from Atlantic City. And they're actually the cheapest beach in New Jersey, apparently. They're like $5 a day, which isn't bad at all. Cape May, that's a little further. Wildwood is a little further. Point Pleasant, Monmouth County and up, they have some beaches. So I have a lot of beaches around me, which is really cool. That's probably my favorite thing about living in New Jersey. That and the Taylor ham. Or, depending on who you talk to, pork roll. It's Taylor ham, okay? You can't find it anywhere else, and I love it so much. It's amazing. I love it. And what's the worst thing about living in New Jersey? People don't know how to drive here. Oh my god. It's awful. It's awful. It's like, okay, there's 3 lanes on the highway for a reason. If you're gonna go the speed limit or below, get in the right lane. If you want to just whiz past people, get in the left lane. If you're going really slow, don't go in the left lane. Come on. We know this. We're taught this in driver's ed. What is wrong with you people? Yeah. So now that this is 20 minutes long, almost 21, I'm going to upload this now and finish working on the Ben City Saga, possibly the final installment. We're not sure. We'll figure it out. Tweet me, Instagram me. Unbroken Barista is my Twitter. Sergeant Sunshine is Sergeant_Sunshine is my Instagram. Inhale peace, exhale joy.